So in this video, I'm going to run through some mistakes that people make and key things to know before you rent so that you can choose the best condo for you here in Bangkok, Thailand. So my name is Sam, I'm from the UK. I've been living in Thailand for 6 years now. I'm currently living in my third condo, so I've got a little bit of experience and knowledge that I want to share with you guys in today's video. Alright then, let's start with the basic things to know when renting a condo here in Thailand. So when renting a condo here in Thailand, they require two things, a deposit and advance payment. So the deposit is normally 2 months worth of rent and the advance payment is normally 1 month. So when renting a condo here in Thailand, they require 3 months of payment up front. So that's something to consider. Another thing to consider is if you have pets or not. So you can talk with the condo agent or the owner about this because some condos in Bangkok are not pet friendly. So you need to do your research about which ones are and which ones aren't. Some will allow cats and dogs and some won't. So make sure you check on that. And another thing to know is about lease durations. So the standard here is 6 months to a year to rent a condo. However, you can get it shorter than that if you take over someone's lease. So there's Facebook groups where you can take over someone's lease. Maybe someone has been renting a condo for 6 months or a year. They need to leave the country and they need someone to take it over pretty quickly. You can find them on Facebook. So those ones can range between say 1 month to 5 months for taking over someone's lease, that is. But in standard, you would say at least 6 months for renting a condo here, but normally the standard is 1 year or 2 years. Like for me, my condo, I rent 1 year. All right, so what you've got to know about Bangkok, Thailand too, is there's normally 2 types of condos that you can rent. There's the older condos and there's the luxury condos. So let's start with the luxury condos. So the luxury condos have plenty of facilities, but the rooms itself are very, very small. So luxury condos could be, say, the S, Knightsbridge, Park Origin, Noble, these kind of brands where they have the swimming pools, which are probably infinity swimming pools. They have nice gyms, they might have a sauna, co-working spaces, they've got everything you need. Essentially, you don't even need to leave the condo because everything's all there in one bubble. However, the downside of that is the rooms are very small. Normally, the size of these rooms range between as little as 30 square meters to say 45 square meters. So you're sacrificing the space, but you're getting the facilities. A few benefits about these luxury condos is that there's plenty available. That's because they're constantly building them every single day, every single week, every single month, and there's plenty around, so they never really have full occupancy here. And another thing is that when you rent these luxury condos, they're fully furnished. You don't need to buy the TV, the couch, anything really. It's all there, ready for you to go. Another benefit to these luxury condos is that the locations are normally great. They're normally situated near the BTS, which is the SkyTrain in Bangkok, or the MRT, which is the underground. So it's easy to get around from your condo to different areas, whether it's a market, a mall, or a restaurant. And 2 problems about these luxury condos can be that they can be expensive and they can have thin walls. So they're expensive because you're not only paying for the room, but you're also paying for these luxury facilities. And also because they're new builds, the walls are not so thick. So you're gonna have to check and be careful and really, really notice, like, are the walls thin? Because you don't wanna hear your neighbors at 11 p.m. at night screaming or fighting. It's not ideal. All right then, now let's talk about the older condos here in Bangkok. They have less modern facilities, but the rooms are larger in comparison to these newer builds. And the downside to these older condos is that they have less maintenance and less security. When you go into the newer condos, they're very well secured. They might have Face ID or fingerprint or face scan. But when you go to the older condos, they normally don't have that. There's less security and there's also less maintenance. So the facilities that are in these older condos are not maintained as well. And another issue about these older condos is they might not always be next to the BTS or the MRT. Generally, it's normally the newer ones that are around there. But an upside to these older condos are the walls. So unlike these newer builds, where they might have thin walls, the older condos will have big, sturdy concrete walls. So then you don't hear your neighbors and you can play your music as loud as you want. Or you can do anything else as loud as you want.
But what the hell, boy?
So that's a general rundown of older condos compared to the newer condos. Oh, and also you can check the description for condo tours that I've already done in Bangkok. All right, let's talk about location. So you got to consider these things when choosing a condo here in Thailand. Firstly, like I mentioned before, is it close to the BTS or MRT? You've got to check that. And if not, well, you can easily use bike taxis to get around the city. Secondly, if you're like me and you love to work out or go to the gym, you've got to check, is it close to a gym or does the condo itself have a gym? Other things to consider is it close to a mall or a convenience store? As you know, in Thailand, we have plenty of malls, so Chances are it's probably not too far away from a mall, but is it close to a convenience store as well, whether that's Tops, Gourmet Market or 7-Eleven? But the thing is about a lot of these condos in Thailand is that they'll have a convenience store or a 7-Eleven in the lobby, which is perfect. All right, next thing to consider is price, and of course that's a very important one. So real estate websites can be bad. Multiple agents list the same listing and then they never take it off, so you've got multiple ones on the same one, and it can be really confusing. Even if it's been rented, they might not take it off because they're being slow. You might contact them and say, hey, can I check this room is available? And then they'll say, oh, sorry, it's already been taken. So find a building that you like and then get the Line app of the agent. So basically Line is one of the most popular social media apps here in Thailand, not for posting pictures or videos, but for communication such as like WhatsApp or Messenger. So the best thing to do is to get their Line app ID, and then so you can talk with them more easily. Send them a message to see what's available and never pay the sticker price. The listing for condos are always inflated, so do know that. Do negotiate because you can. There's plenty of times where I've done it myself, or my friends that have been living here, they've seen the price listed online and then they've negotiated quite a bit to get it down, so always negotiate. All right, next up is noise, and that is a very important factor when choosing a condo to rent here in Thailand. Consider things like, is it next to a main road or a highway? Because if it is, you're probably going to hear that late in the night or in the early hours of the morning, which can be very, very distracting. Also, if it's too close to the BTS, that could cause a noise problem. And like I mentioned before about the thickness of the walls, if you're in these newer builds, they might tend to have thinner walls. So you might hear your neighbor's pet, your neighbor shouting, up at night, anything, arguments. So that's really something to consider when choosing a condo. So I have two recommendations to combat this. Firstly is check reviews on Google. So whichever condo you like, put it in Google, find it on Google Maps and search all the reviews and just see how's the star rating. Are people talking about the thickness of the walls? Are they talking about noise? And that will give you a general idea of what the condo is like. And another good thing that you could do is check in Facebook groups. So you could ask people specific questions about a condo or just put it in the search bar to see what people have already said about that specific condo already. All right, something else to know before you rent is to know which way the room is facing. If it faces the west, that means it's going to be very, very hot in the afternoon, which obviously means higher electricity bills because you're going to be cranking on that AC all the time. All right, and another very specific thing to know about condos is lift waiting times. And now you're probably thinking, Sam, what do you mean by that exactly? So in high-rise condos, it can sometimes take 15 minutes to get from the ground floor to one of the upper floors. It can be very, very annoying at times, and elevators can be very slow, so this is something to really consider. Because I'm sure you're not going to run up a flight of 40 stairs, right? And lastly, another thing that I considered when choosing my condo is it close to a park? So you've got parks like Lumpini Park, Chatuchak Park, Benjasiri Park, Benjikiti Park. And for me, I wanted a condo that was really close to a park because when I'm feeling stressed or I've finished work for the day, I want to get out, I want to walk, do a bit of cardio and be close to a park. So also consider that, it's pretty important. So if you're currently searching for a condo here in Bangkok, Thailand, and you have no idea where to start, which was me a couple of years ago, I'll put a playlist at the end of this video of some of the condo tours that I've done already so you can look at that. And also if you want to check the description down below, I'll give you some condo tours that I've already done here in Thailand for you to take a look. And if you found this video helpful, do please drop a comment, join the conversation. See you in the next one. Lo Jogan Mai.